What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. Today I'm really excited to bring you my skiff bearing and disassembly of the Vero Impulse. This is a great knife and it has fantastic action, but if I recall correctly, and we're going to verify that, I believe these have the hollow cage, and I want the solid cage. I believe it'll be 5mm, but I do have the tool here from Skiff Bearing. Great tool to reference to make sure that you're installing the proper bearings in the pivot. Some great tools to have are going to be Weehabit bits. There is plenty of drivers out there. I like the Scout tool drivers. I have this one that I picked up off Amazon that does have this piece here that goes to the top. Scout tool makes this for CRKT, and it comes with some Weehabit bits to get you started. If not, you can pick up all of these are linked down below, except maybe the Scout tool. Scout tool is just a cool little bearing driver that wasn't terribly expensive. I believe these are T8, yeah, throughout, so you won't need the T6, so I will be using the T8 driver. This one here, you're going to want to take off this side bolt to get the pocket clip off, and then you can do this bolt and the pivot from there to get this disassembled. It should be really easy to do. So we'll go ahead and start by removing this bolt. That pocket clip should be installed with a pin underneath. If it's anything like oh, these are titanium. They're not sticking to the little magnets over here on the side. If it's anything like the other ones, it's just going to require a little bit of prying to get it off. No, I don't want to pull too hard. Let me go ahead and try to get this disassembled. With that removed, this scale should come off, but we'll see here in a second if it does. Going to keep the pressure on while I take the pivot out. Let's see here. Might have a little bit of Loctite on there. It looks like a little bit of blue Loctite there in the pivot. All right, so now coming right apart. Well, except around the pivot. Yeah, it does have a second bolt. I apologize. The older ones just have a pin in there. This has an internal bolt, which you really don't need to do anything with. And I am checking the track real quick. No, it hasn't. I haven't had it long enough to even start a track going. So we're not going to worry about flipping those. If yours has a track going, I just recommend flipping it. All right, as you can see here, these definitely look like they might be a little bit larger than the 5mm. So let's go ahead and grab our tool and check the pivot out. This is the 5mm, and it is definitely bigger than that. It is the 6mm, and it is the 1/16 6mm. I think I have one more of these left. As there we go. Stop pin and back spacer and everything fall out. Let's reinstall that. Where did my stop pin go? Oh, it's stuck to this side. I didn't even notice. Actually, while I have that apart, let me go ahead and just clean. Looks like good grease and lube. Thank you, Best Tech, for not cheaping out and using like a pasty lube. It looks like a nice, well-oiled lube. And the pivot hole is facing towards the back of the blade. So if your pivot comes out, your D shape just needs to face towards the lanyard. Oops. So hopefully that helps you out. What did I say? 6mm 1/16, right? Let's see if I have one of those left. I think I have one left. Let's see, 6mm 1/16. Yep, I got one left. I will make sure to order some more. Or do I have two left? No, just one, my last one. So this one was definitely going to go on the Impulse. I'll have to check the Synapse XL and see if that'll work. 1/16, right? Yeah, 1/16. There we go. So I'm going to stick the factory ones in here, and when we're done here, I will mark these as coming off the engineering to keep track of them. All right. Should be pretty straightforward to put back together. Whatever lube you prefer and whatever method you prefer as far as lubing your new bearings. is what I would recommend. Everybody has a different way of doing it, and I'm not going to knock on that. All right, so 6mm. Wow, it just barely fits. Just barely fits. Like, it is super, super snug. All right, stop pin needs to go back in. And you know what I forgot to do? I checked the D, but I don't think I put any lube on that pivot. Throw a little bit of lube on there. There we go, just a couple drops. And then carefully reinstall your blade. Oof. You don't want to cut your fingers. And that is upside down. I was looking so hard at the stop pin fitting, I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing there. Stop pin keeping that just off of the backspacer. I'm going to put a drop there in front of the detent track. Going to lube our last, or our second. Bearing. Sorry, I have to move to the side of the camera to concentrate on that so I can see what I'm doing. So that'll go down on there. Go ahead and grab your frame. Once you have everything down, it doesn't take a lot of pressure, just keep a little bit of pressure on there. And what I would actually do is install the body. Whoa, I have this backspacer on upside down. Hold on. Did not catch that at first. What I was going to say is if you put the body screw in, it'll keep it from coming up. As you saw, once I had everything installed there, yeah, it doesn't really move a whole lot. And this one bolt hand tight down will keep it from lifting up, because what I'd like to do is just hit a little bit of Loctite on the pivot before I reinstall it. I prefer the paste. The liquid you just want to leave sitting longer than the paste. The paste I have found over 24 hours. A full 24 hours works really good for that. And then I just use the tool. Do I need to push this out some more? That should be enough. Just a little bit on there. A little bit more than what I probably normally would put on here. Same thing with the reinstall here. I recommend going hand tight. Once you meet resistance with like a good snug pull, check your centering. I don't see any spaces in between that I didn't see before. I was able to see the caged washers from the factory on there the same way that I'm able to see these skiffs. So let's go ahead, tighten these all up. Let's check to see if we have any blade play. No blade play, nice and solid. And it falls shut and it is centered. So I'm going to let this sit for 24 hours, my own rule. And that'll be the disassembly and way that you can maintain yours, and also what you can do as far as installing your skiffs. So those are going to be a 6mm pivot, 1/16 diameter washers. 6mm, 1/16 diameter, 13 ball count. Hope this video has helped you. If it did, do me a favor, leave a like. Consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Thanks to everyone out there that is regularly liking and leaving the comments. I appreciate your support. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. Love you guys, and until next time, peace.